Good morning, traders. We'll see if we are like Virgin Galactic and can take off today. Find out right now on Live Trading.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
What's going on, traders? We're going to get after it here like always. You guys do me the favor. Start us up with a great like. I want to see if we can make a new record today. I'm setting it up 300 likes. You guys smash it up. Let's get it started. Let's bring on the boys. We got Faloona in the house. We got Zunaid in the house. Let me change this background here. We need to go to the good one right here. There we are.
We need that moo code up is what we need.
Of course, you need that moo, baby. All right, so move on over, guys, because we're going to take it over.
Move on over.
All right.
Oh, boy.
Let's get to the stocks market out here. Let's take a look at what's going on. I'm going to really quickly, just like always, run through my swings, and then we'll take a look at what else is going on in the market. Let me take down my line so that you guys can actually see these stocks. ExxonMobil getting a little bounce today as Oxy gets another kind of push from Warren. A little push there towards 58. Keeping an eye on WTI. Want to see that go down through 68 here at the open to show me that I can hang on to ExxonMobil and Chevron. We'll see what happens to those. Of course, I do have some other positions. You guys saw me open this one up yesterday right here on live trading. I opened up here, Turtle Beach. Talked about it. And Zunaid was like, yeah, I've had some Turtle Beach headsets before. So I took a swing on that, got that at 11:45. We'll see what happens if this can keep going through 12 to 13. Really nice daily pattern, right? Nice little flat top. A couple of times that it's tried to push through 12. It even made a run through 13. Let's see if it gets back up through that 13 and keeps driving higher. That's on HEAR. I also have QS. QS still looking good as it starts to climb above the 7s. Going to look for this to make a move to 8 and above. Of course, why did I get this? All the mentions from Toyota about solid state battery. And then I take a look at Starbucks, of course. You guys have known I've been literally just like, this is what I've been focusing on for like all week, trying to short Starbucks. I've made some decent money. I've lost some. Overall positive. But let's see what happens with this, right? You can see here on the hourly, we keep fighting levels here. There's resistance right above towards 99. There's support right below there towards 97.70s and 97.50s. Will we cut through that today? That's what I'll be looking for, kind of a green to red going back down through the 98.50s, maybe going to that 97.50s. But just be careful here, team. Above 99s, back to 100, and this pattern has turned around. So I got to be careful there. We'll see what happens. I have 98.40s for the swing, and then I'll look to maybe get some on the prop action. Now kicking it to my man, Ryan, to see what's going on in the market for him. And, of course, Zunaid will give you his outlook. So you guys in the chat, if you guys have any stock you guys want my man Zunaid to look at, throw it up now. And, of course, smash that like, baby. Let's get it going here. How we doing, Ryan?
I'm doing good, man. I was waiting for the screen.
Oh, no, you're good. What? I was looking at the chat there.
No, you know what, though? This is oh, wait a sec here. Let me share. There we go. There we go. Okay, boom, boom. So first outlook here is going to be on the SPY. We've recently kind of bounced. Now, it's very, very early. The market's not even open. We're still in the pre-market. And the candle we're getting today looks like it might be a reversal. We'll see. Market was up in the pre-market here. If we zoom in, we can actually take a look at it together. So we were actually up in the pre-market. We're now below yesterday's close, but we'll see where we actually end up going out of the gate here. I got no trades on the broader market. My trades are all smaller trades, but I am definitely watching this, especially considering I took 2 new swings to the long side, and we're going to talk about those here real quick. First one is going to be IoT. By the way, both of these were starter positions, so they're both very, very small. IoT, what I'm looking for here, it looks like this is bouncing and looks like this is going to re-challenge the high. So I'd be looking for about 30 here on IoT. And just full disclosure, my cost basis on IoT is 26.27. So I'm up nearly a point on it. I wouldn't chase it, but this is one of the things that I'm looking for. Next one here is going to be EYPT, and this is iPoint Pharmaceuticals. We talked about this. This is one that one of our team members here kind of uncovered based on Regeneron's results. We talked about this. I did a starter position here as well. My cost basis on EYPT is $7.62, so I'm up about 25 cents here on that. Chart on the daily looks good. We had a pretty decent day yesterday. I actually got really lucky. I bought it right in here, and right after I bought it, it traded up. We'll see if this keeps going. I know, Zunaid, you're going to be interviewing the CEO today, so if you're interested in this stock, definitely check out that interview. I will be checking it out as well. And then let's talk about some of the new smaller movers that could be on deck today. Okay, first one here to talk about is going to be SGTX. Now, this is Sigilion Therapeutics. This stock closed at about $3.70 or so, and it's currently at $28. So these are the type of trades I love to be in if I can manage. They're trading higher after Eli Lilly agreed to acquire the company for $14.92 a share in cash. Now you might be wondering, well, if they're going to acquire the company for $14.92, why is the stock at $28, and why was it as high as $40 or even a little bit more? And if you go into the actual news report here, you'll see, you have to actually read through this. You have to find it in here. But here it says Eli Lilly and Company. Eli Lilly would acquire all outstanding shares of Sigilion for $14.92 per share in cash payable at closing, plus one non-tradable contingent value right per share that entitles the holder to receive up to an additional $111.64 per share in cash. So this is called the CVR, from what I understand. I've actually never traded one of these. If anyone else has experience with this, I'd love for you to kind of share that. I'll be honest, I don't necessarily know how this works, meaning that if I buy this stock at $27 here today and I wait for the deal to close, do I get the buyout price of $14.92 plus the 111? I'm going to actually look into that today, because this is actually the first time I've come across this. But this is worth noting here. You can see it's actually doing some trading here. The range is pretty good, 40 to 27. So we'll see if this provides any trades. Not my top watch, but it's worth you folks knowing what's going on here. Next is going to be IMNM. And as you can see, we recently made a pretty big spike here. This stock closed around $6. We spiked as high as 10 here. Let's see. We do have some news here. Immunone and Morphimmune announced derivative merger agreement and simultaneous private placement of $125 to develop targeted cancer therapies. So that seems like a pretty good PR there. We'll see if this gives us a trade. Next on the list here is going to be Wave. This is EcoWave Power Global. Oops, let me reset this chart. Come on. This is EcoWave Power Global. You can see we actually popped in the after hours yesterday, popped again. Now we've bled some of this back, but we're under VWAP, and a return to VWAP might be in play here. I didn't really see any news. The only news I have is from Thursday of last week, so I don't really think there's anything fresh here. This might just be trading action. Duo, I'm not sure about this. This is FangD Network. We are popping here. We'll see if Duo ends up giving us some type of trade. Again, same deal here. Don't see any fresh news. RNXT, we do have some fresh news here. This actually popped almost as high as 360, came back, and we're actually right under the VWAP. The catalyst here is Renovix shares are trading higher after the company released interim data on progression-free survival from phase 3 study of RenovoGem for pancreatic cancer. So another pancreatic cancer headline there. And then we've got some continuation here in Joby and ACHR. Remember, those two seem to move together. Joby had a big day yesterday. If you were able to catch it, up again here today. I believe we do have a catalyst here. Joby welcomes a $100 million investment as it expands its partnership with SK Telecom. It's also worth noting here, Open. This is one that we've been watching a breakout. This is higher here today, so maybe we actually go higher here today. We'll see how this does out of the open. And then it's also worth mentioning some of the other stocks on here that you folks trade all of the time are back on here again today. Mara, I would imagine Riot has a very similar looking chart. Carvana, really, really high short interest. This stock moving up again. SoFi, I know a lot of you folks are interested in that. That's popping this morning. And then, of course, Micron had earnings yesterday, traded higher. Really want to see if this holds or if this ends up going red here today. So, Zunaid, that's about all I got. You ready?
Yeah. Why in the world do we still have a sriracha shortage? That's crazy to me. I was just looking at an article about how sriracha sauces bottles now cost like 30, 40, $50. And it's just like, oh my, it's just crazy. But anyway,
I'm super glad I don't really care all that much for sriracha. So
it's just, it's crazy. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look. The main thing I want to take a look at here in terms of futures is oil, crude oil. $70 still having resistance. I mean, this is we can go to the 30-minute just to give you a little cleaner picture, but look at that. How many times it's bumped its heads? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, whatever number comes after that. Just cannot get over $70. But I've got alerts set because I am looking to go long, probably with solid size, if I may, to the upside if it does go ahead and break 70. Let's go ahead and take a look at Airbnb. This one was a nice little trade for us yesterday. You remember those options that we purchased at 79, went as high as 120. Scaled out a couple of them, but unfortunately it came right back down. What I'm looking at now is to see if we can get above 130 itself. If we can get above 130, I'd be interested in getting back into Airbnb and riding it to the upside. All right. You still have half a case. You bought a case? It's not me. It's you. You're the problem. How many came in a case? Now you got me curious.
Zunaid, we should make it a point of not calling our viewers problems. That's all.
Fair. You are not the problem. Please do not report me to HR. Let's go ahead and take a look at Tesla here, waiting for it to come on back down to 252s or the 250s. I'd be interested in purchasing it there and seeing if we can go ahead and get a buy on that side of things. But the main one that I want to kind of keep an eye on is going to be NVIDIA. If we can go ahead and get above 420, I'd be interested in taking this one long. Till then, it's still not within the range that, or still hasn't quite cracked for me to go ahead and go full port on it. But nonetheless, we will wait to see if we can get above 420, which I believe will happen. And when it does, we can go ahead and take this one to the upside. Let's go ahead and see if we've got anything on PayPal. If you're looking to play this to the downside, the crack of 65, 80, 66 or so, you can kind of keep that range in mind. If we do go ahead and crack that, it could be a nice little short to the downside, especially if you believe the market is going to head down. Give me 1 sec. Let me just answer this question. There we go. Let's go ahead and see what we've got on any of the other tickers. Amazon here, you've got the 131 that it went all the way up to and then came right back down. So, matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and take care of this. There we go. 131.51 to the upside. If it does go ahead and crack that, we can go ahead and see if we get a move on that one there. But let's see if there is anything else here. Carvana. And maybe if it tests back this 28, definitely the 30s. If it cracks 30s, I'm interested. No question. Let's see. Go to that one. If you want to have a dip buy, I think I could try this one at 28s as well. Yeah, I think if it wants to give us a chance. Matter of fact, let me go to my broker here. See if we can go Carvana. Purchase shares at 28. All right. So we've got that set in motion. Let's see what else we've got here. 4,400 on the S&P 500 index futures went ahead and held quite well. So if you're looking to go short the market, may want to wait for a crack of that, and possibly on the retest, you can go ahead and play this one to the downside. You can see that trend line that we drew. We had shorted here, and as soon as it popped above, you got a nice little move to give you about 30 points to the upside, especially when it broke that 44 resistance to the upside. It went. Now it's going back down a little bit, but keep an eye on that 4,400. Because that'd be an area to keep in mind if we do go ahead and want to go a little bit lower. Let's go ahead and check out Apple. I believe Apple hits the 3 trillion mark at like 190.71, give or take, something like that. So as soon as you can see 190 is acting as resistance right here. If 190 cracks, you would have to think that we're going to go ahead and tag the 190.71. But let's see if that actually comes to fruition. If it does go ahead and crack the 190, I would be interested in playing this one to the long side. Taking a look at Baba, 84.50s. You can see how well that was holding on to support. If it does want to come back and test this resistance area, which this previous support, which could act as resistance at this 84.50, we can go ahead and check that out and then come on right back down. Let's see what else we've got here. That's kind of pretty much all I have. I've got to answer a couple of these slacks about the interview. Would you mind taking over, Ryan? We can't hear you.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I'll be happy to take over. We'll take a look at Frey here. This is one from Becca, who's been on fire recently, just caliente hot. So Frey popping up here in the pre-market. We actually popped above where we were yesterday in the post-market. We'll see if we actually keep moving here out of the gate. One of the things that, let me go back to Frey here. One of the things that I'd really like to see for a potential trade here, just to kind of make entry more easy, would be a pullback to the VWAP and hold. We've been watching that quite a bit on some of these other names. We'll see if we get the same type of thing here today. That'd be great. What I'd like to see out of Frey is something similar to what we saw out of Nerve yesterday, right? Maybe we'll get a pop right here out of the gate. Obviously, they got a $13 price target. Morgan Stanley upgraded the stock from equal weight to overweight and reiterated that price target. So we'll see if Frey gets going. Sydney wants to take a look at APLD. This has had a really rough go about it recently. Let me actually switch to this other tab. Go here. Okay, let's take a look at that now. APLD. So Bitcoin here is up. So Sydney's saying APLD might go up too. It's had a really rough couple of days. If we find a bottom, maybe we can actually bounce here. This should give us some pretty good movement. I think the first thing that we'd need to see here, Sydney, would be a move through 8. If we can cross 8 to the upside, then perhaps this could get going. And we've seen this stock move before, right? This is no stranger to some of the stuff that's been moving around before. It's no stranger to making big moves, I should say. Try to use good English there. Open looks like this is trading back up, and Mitch is back with a neck pillow on his head.
Do you even moo-moo?
Yes,
that is the question. Moo-moo or not to moo-moo?
I mean, that's an easy one. You moo-moo.
You moo-moo, baby.
You get the free stocks, you get the good platform, you get the good execution, you get the good tools, and you get the quality mobile app.
Oh, moo-moo. I'm ready, baby. Let's get after it.
All right, you just got me ready with that. We got Raz Moon out here.
Let's go, baby.
You're getting me fired up here, Mitch.
Let's get ready for this open, man. I don't know about you guys. I'm excited. Hey, the horns say it all. Are we going a little bullish here? I don't know. Let's find out, guys. All right, let's see here. Q's coming down here, though, fast, guys. Are we going to see a little bit of a bounce, or did we see a top already in this morning? That's the question that I'll be asking myself. Of course, I'll be getting my moo-moo ready here. I do have one day trade that I'm trying to use today in moo-moo, so get ready, guys. Looking to get after it, and we'll see. Can I get back into the green? I've been struggling a little bit now with the moo-moo account, but you know what? I'm still using my risk and reward, right? And I think that's what's kept me in it. That's what's kept me above. That's what's kept me still within reach of one good trade. And we're right back into 600, right? I've been battling to get to that 600, so I'll show you guys that right now really quickly before the bell here. Later, I don't need the update right now. Let's take a look here. And you guys see it, 585, but a couple of drops here, right? So you guys can see it also in the equity. You could see that the greens are a lot bigger than the small reds, right? You see small reds there, but I've had a couple of losses this month, right? So I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red days, 3 green days. But guess what? The 3 green days covered those 5 red days.
That's actually a really good point that you're making. And this tool does a really good job of showing you what keeping your losses small and letting your winners run looks like.
Yeah.
And Mitch, considering that you're self-admitting that you're in a bit of a funk with this account, you're doing a great job preserving the balance. This is exactly what we talk about all the time. And you're doing it.
And I think one of the important things is learning how different trading, right? Small accounts need to trade almost different than bigger accounts. They need to be more stingent on the risk to return. Because if you can keep the mathematical probability in your favor, you're probably going to keep this account going. Let's just be honest. As long as I can keep going after like 2 to 1s, 3 to 1s, and keep getting after that where I could lose, 2, 3 times and win once and it like kind of break evens, that's what I'm looking after. Let's get after this market. There's the bell. Open. Let's do it, guys.
Smoke Tuna, by the way, saying they don't want to give me a Moomoo account. This is a non-US. We actually did log that as feedback, correct, Mitch? We sent them feedback that,
yes,
so we're on your side with that.
You know what? Like literally, I'm going to clip this right here. Right here. So I got you, Smoke Tuna.
Boom.
Moomoo will know exactly about your comment right now, my friend. And if you guys ever have any feedback from Moomoo, because you guys are testing it out or using it or want to check it out, let me know, because that's what I'm here for too. Also to give them feedback to improve this. They'll listen, guys. You guys just go ahead and let us know. All right, let's get after it, team. Sucks not in Canada too. There you go. I'll give him the message.
Screenshot. That's what it's all about. Mitch comes with the receipts. Let's face it.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, team. All right, let's get after it. Let's get to this market. Let's see. We're starting to drop. What are you thinking, Zunaid? Do you think? I love to hear sometimes your thoughts too, right? Because that's the fun part of having multiple traders, right? My thoughts are not exactly Zunaid's thoughts, so I love to sometimes even just ask Zunaid, what do you see on the chart? And then just taking my own approach from there.
Right now, we've got OSTK $31 calls coming in on the ask, and you can see Aaron and I are talking about a Sriracha TikTok video, so that's on my mind. That's lovely. We can have overstock. Go ahead and pop above 30s. That could be an interesting one to go after. So let's see what we've got. I mean, I don't really see any resistance for us to go back and test support on. So honestly, maybe a pop of 30 and on a retest, you could get a chance to go ahead and play to 31. But overstock is where the options came in. The ones that popped out to me to start things off here this morning. The $31 call is expiring July 21st is what I've got.
Frey, F-R-E-Y, another Becca special here, just absolutely ripping off of the open. Now, I will say here for a new trade, I didn't jump in this. I told you what I'd really like here is for some type of pullback to give a setup here. We didn't get it yet, but I'm going to keep this on the watch list here today because this is rolling here today. And by the way, RNXT, which was from our list here this morning, this is going here. If I actually, let's get off the 15-minute. See, we actually just busted above the VWAP here. We'll see where this settles. Maybe this will push and go higher. Next spot I have here, 304. 335 and then 358 on RNXT if it goes.
All right, guys, already missing a trade that I was thinking about before the open, but it just washed fast there, team. Joby coming down here. I can actually short it in the prop. And the prop, it doesn't really matter there. Not borrowing shares there. So I'm looking at JOBY today for maybe already topping out on the day. It's done 1, 2, 3, 4 drives there. Failed at the 1110s. Now I wanted to come back towards like that 1065, but fail there. And I'll get short on it. Try to knock it down to 10.
By the way, Overstock went ahead and reached the 31s. So that was a nice little move to get into if you did.
All right, got a little bit short there of Joby at 1046. It's already down there to 1039s. I can look to add there towards close to the 60s, but I'm going to risk off that 65 right now.
God, Frey ripping.
Got there 46, so that's not too bad. Let's see if this could come right back down, not get back above the VWAP now.
Yeah, Frey still at highs. This Rigetti is kind of interesting.
Where is okay?
All right, JOBY already pushing right back up there towards the 60s. Just got to be careful there.
Let's see, where's Alta?
Rustov wants to take a look at DNA. This Ginkgo works. Actually, this is a decent chart here. Rustov, the good one. This actually had a pretty good day yesterday, holding its gains here today. See if it takes out 185. Let's take a look at the daily chart here. I don't know why my chart keeps switching. DNA here. Nice looking chart here. Nice find, Rustov. Thanks for Rustam. Excuse me, Rustam. I'm so sorry. Anyway, nice looking chart here. If this gets some more continuation, 204 could be in play on ticker DNA. Nice find.
All right, I like the outlook now on JOBY. It's looking good here. Now I just wanted to take down the 1030s on the downside, and it rejected that like 1065, 1070 move. Break 1030s, go through 10, and then I can just start looking to add throughout the day. I want this to start crushing down. We'll see what happens there on JOBY. I got you guys. I'll show you guys that chart right here. JOBY. Micron taking a big hit there, but we'll see what happens here on JOBY. Let me zoom in here so you guys can see that. It's on the 15-minute. That's why. Let's go to the 1. All right. So you guys see how right here it went back there to 65s, rejected that move, looking for the breakdown through this 1030s. Above that 1070s, though, we got to be careful because it could squeeze right back up. VWAP buyers definitely coming in there around the 1050s. That kind of makes sense. So just be careful there for a squeeze right now. It did get down into the 1035s, but just didn't really break there. So it's just still within the battle right now. But above the 1070 mark, we got to be really careful.
All right, a couple of stocks that I'm currently in. Carvana purchased it at 28, currently at 27.64. So I'm on the negative side on this one here for now. Stop loss for me is a break of 27.50s. Another stock that I'm currently in is going to be Alta at the purchase price of 465. Going to hold on to this one for a risk reward of at least 5 to 5. So my stop loss is about 460 or the crack below. So those are the two stocks that I'm currently in.
Just tried some and it popped. We just tried some Rigetti here at 133. It popped. They actually brought a bid in at 134. Maybe I hooked one here. That happened fast. Holy smokes.
All right, guys. Glad I respected it. JOBY already almost there towards 11 and popping there. So we got some VWAP buyers to step in there at the 1050s. It did kind of do that VWAP fade kind of look, but then really rejected that 1030 move. When that rejected that 1030 move, that's where we got to be really careful because it came back and you could see the buyer step up really quickly on that 1050 kind of VWAP bounce right back up there. Now towards 11 and pushing high. That's why when you short a fast mover to the upside, you got to keep it really tight. What did I risk there? I risked there about 35 cents, a little less than 35 cents, about like 29 cents there. But this could have been easily a 50 cent, 60 cent loss there on that pop.
Stopped out Carvana, out.
Look how that moved right back down too. It's a little bit hard to trade today on JOBY because you could see that it just moved through 11s and then came back to 1060s in about 2 seconds. So just be careful with that JOBY. We'll see what happens a little bit later on the day. Looking at SPCE coming down there towards 450s. That made a huge down move there. SPY starting to bounce back, and that could have been the reason why we had that bounce back. Let's see if the Qs come right back down here, or do they go right back up above the 364.60s? Technology is up on the day. Financial services doing well. Of course, they were doing well. Will they continue doing well? JPM ripped to the upside out the gates. Is this just an overreaction to the upside? I don't know, but man, banks with a huge move up today. Show that in the Explore tab. I'll show you guys that right now. You see here solid state batteries. That QS looking good there. That moving up a little bit. We'll see if that can continue moving. But let's get to the financials, man. That's definitely an important move to catch there. JPM, big rip higher, about like 4, 5, 6 candles up. All right. So JOBY just came right back down. And so that's where it's going to be a little bit hard to trade that one today. We'll see what happens.
Carvana just headed to the downside. Let's see if there are any support levels we can try to pick this one off of. I would actually say perhaps the 27. Do I want to try it?
These look like they're going up. A lot of this is Tesla, Apple holding VWAP, Google at the top still holding VWAP too, Microsoft above VWAP. So the bigger stocks doing well right now. NVIDIA looks like it's about to reject VWAP here. We'll see if it holds VWAP and recovers. Man, that NVIDIA stock is so hard to trade, guys. I made a good trade on it yesterday, but man, that was like a quick 30 shares, $2, get out. Open, anyone?
Arlo is going. Yeah, we had some people that were trading open.
It's pulling back right now for the VWAP for like a VWAP bounce type of trade. So let me just get my second screen up here so I can show you guys that. I just seeing too much here. Let's go to my trade screen here where I have multiple charts set up. Multiple stock quotes here, and then I can put up multiple charts. Open. All right, open bottom left here. I'll show you guys that VWAP bounce style look here, right? You can go on the 1 minute. You can see the VWAP's right around 420s. And so right now it's bouncing around 418. So I'd look for a recovery here of 420s back to 431s. And the risk is about, down to like that 412, next support level. So we'll look to see if it gets back up there through the 430s to the upside. Doesn't look too bad right now, at least off the 1 minute. If that's the way you trade, hey, to each his own, you make that call. But I can see the VWAP bounce there. Let's go Tesla. VWAP bounce also looking good on the 5 minute there for Tesla. SQQQ is trying to make a little bit of a move here, just focusing on the SPY to see what's going to happen in the next couple of minutes. But I don't know, man. It seems like it's climbing right back up, at least from right now. SQQs make a quick downside move.
By the way, Joby got a CNBC mention that's up again here today. Also, BYND, Ron and Becca seem to be on BYND. Remember, we talked yesterday about this having really gigantic short interest. Thing got changed again. Short interest here on Beyond Meat. 42% of the float shorted, 9.9 days to cover. Just huge short interest here in Beyond Meat. Maybe we're getting a little bit of a squeeze effect. This is moving here. Good stuff, Ron and Bex. Stop that at Rigetti, by the way.
Trade on SQQQs here. All right, long SQQQs. They got their 1972s. Going to look for a move above 1975 and 1980s. Has to make that quick move up, though. Just going to risk off the 65s here. So less
Mitch,
than 10 cents.
One of your favorite stocks, Nightscope, curling up here. Maybe Nightscope, robotic policeman, can move up to that 75 cents. Nightscope, nice curl here.
You know what the Nightscope's going to do, right? It's going to come get Zunaid one day. That's shoplifter.
Good thing they weren't around
back to the highs.
Right? Good thing they weren't around, Zunaid. We would have got.
They definitely would have caught me, no question.
They definitely would have caught me.
The robot would have got us, man. All right, let's see if this can hold VWAP now. I wouldn't want to see SQQQs even go through 68s. I just want to see a nice little lift off there. The Qs come down, but we'll see. Open still having that ability for the VWAP bounce. I'm keeping an eye on that. And of course, the Qs would have to come down for me to have this trade work here. Just taking a quick trade off of that. If the Qs do break through 364.80s, I'll probably get stopped out.
Good morning, Judge.
Judge, what's going on? Becca, you have Nightscope too. Not a surprise. Becca has all the money in the market right now, obviously. She's just in all of the plays that are ripping up here. Frey looking like it just set new highs, looking like it's still going for new highs. Frey really strong here. Wish I would have grabbed that one out of the open.
Frey, that's a battery play, man.
Yep,
I've actually interviewed them before. Prior battery. Frey. That's a nice play. That, you know what that makes me feel like? QS, baby. Do I go adding in QS? Up 7% on that position for the swing. That's looking good. QuantumScape. Ignore it, Becca. Ignore it. Ignore all the haters.
Mitch's hate. Oh, Mitch.
Ignore all the haters, man.
Where is Alta?
We make our calls, baby.
Rustam saying DNA, if it broke 185, it went higher. Let's take a look here. Yeah. So what we're thinking here is that when it breaks through the high a day, it might have some more momentum to push. Now I know we're only up a cent here. We're up 2 cents, but maybe this actually grinds. This looks like a little bit of a slower trader. So just have your stops in place to protect your position and your capital, and you should be all set with that. That was a good chart that you brought up, though. That was a good find.
All right, nice move here already for the SQQQs. Looking to sell a little bit here. If it could pop above the 86 here, we get into the 90s. All right, already pulling back a little bit. Let's see if it takes off here through the high.
RNXT really needs to get above 3 here, but this is still worth watching until it breaks down. SGTX looks like this is just kind of coming in. No trade there at all yet. Looks like Joby stopped at about 1150. We'll see if that gears up again. Got some stuff moving here this morning.
Q's made a down move, now bouncing a little bit here. I'm looking for that move through the 88s, but it didn't go through the 88s. Stopped right there. I'm going to sell some, but looking for that next little push.
On the Ulta trade, I've got a point in the money, but I'm looking for at least 3 to 5 points before I trim this one. And you've got Carvana that bounced from the 27s, but let's go ahead and take a look at Ulta so I can show you what I'm talking about. I'll break that 66 to the upside.
All right. There's a nice little push here in the SQQQs. Now pulling back real quick. It got there to 88s.
Man, FREY. I know that this pulled back to the VWAP and then went. Still seems like a difficult trade, but man, in hindsight, it looks like that was great. FREY really strong here today. Let's see if this sets up again. I'm just not going to take it off my screen.
Yeah, oil is trying to break. Who said that? Richard. Trying to break the 70s.
Yeah, Jay. So this is interesting. Jay, I was hoping that you were going to talk about this here today. Micron, they delivered their report yesterday. They were up. When we were talking about this on the happy hour, we could not understand why it was up. The report did not seem great. Micron shares are trading higher after the company reported better than expected Q3 earnings. Piper Sandler upgraded the stock from underweight to neutral. Market not rewarding it here. We've now gone red. So green to red move here on Micron. Yeah, I have no position on this. I agree with you. I didn't think the report was all that great. I was kind of puzzled by the after hours move, but maybe we're coming back to reality here today.
All right, I got a quick sweep back in the SQQQs. I'm looking to see if a VWAP bounces and comes right back up, but got to be really tight with this now.
God, SOUN. Scalped this yesterday, felt great about it. Now it's run another 50 cents from there. I didn't feel good about holding any of these overnight. And the trade plan was for a scalp, so I executed my trade plan correctly. But man, watching some of these continue to go here, this would have been a nice one to trade again here today. RNXT, is that coming back up? Yep, sure is. Okay, good call here. This is actually one I wanted to watch. Near the VWAP here on the RNXT.
Looking to see if the Qs are going to come right back down or recover VWAP. If they recover VWAP, you got to be careful there if you're short.
I wonder if I can trade. Ow.
It's not looking good here. At least for my trade here. We'll see what happens.
RNXT back to 3. This is tempting, folks. It's coming back in now.
I feel like NVIDIA led that move down there in the queue, so I'm watching a lot of NVIDIA now.
Oh, wow, that was nasty pull. Now, RNXT, this is a little tough. Be careful if you guys are trading this. Michael, I see you're trying to break that 304 level. It just did. You're absolutely right about that. 310, your high print now, so that's now the spot. They pulled it. As soon as they got to 310, they yanked it back, though. I have no position in this. Not in it. Scalped it out the open. Not in it now.
Seems like they're buying the pullback right now. But do get stopped out.
Just chipped in for Bird. Let's go. RNXT. I don't think this is done, folks.
I missed my profit take here today, guys. At least we'll see if I get stopped out on the SQQQs, but definitely should have taken the money back that I lost on Joby. I had it already. I just didn't take it off. Looking around, team, see what happens here. Tesla trying to hold a little pullback.
Yeah, Baba never tested the 8450s from what I saw. This is the area it's got. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put it in an order here. It's a short 100 if it gets to 8450s. Right there.
Just doesn't want to go here. Like the Qs are about to stop me out.
Are they popping?
It's just rejecting the VWAP, but you know how that is right there. You reject the VWAP, you reject the VWAP. If it just does that sweep up.
Tried some RNXT here at 299, hoping for a break of that 318. Stop at VWAP. Don't want this to go against me. We'll wait for it to set up. It moves pretty crazy. Come on, RNXT.
I tightened the risk and return now on SQQQ. 68s would get me out. So I could add here if it goes back up and then just get like a sweep down move on the Qs, but have to be like a hard sweep on the Qs.
Alta, by the way, now 3 points in the money. Feel free to do what you would like.
Alta.
Mara popping. We talked about that one here this morning. Kind of watching here now.
Oil waiting for it to pop back above the 70s.
RNXT looking like it's setting up here.
Looking to see if the SQQQs want to hold this 5-minute chart.
Mara did make a new high a day. Nice.
Will the Qs go down today?
Come on, Ulta. Keep on going, Ulta.
Nvidia, come down, not back up.
This might be the slowest trading stock I've ever had a position in.
Ulta?
Yep.
That used to be a darling, street darling.
Really?
QS moving well, man. 767 now for QS. Should just maybe been day trading that one. That one just keeps moving along. Look at that. Nice chart today on QS.
RNXT back down to 3 here.
Dude, if we could fill that gap, that'd be great.
Mara ripping. That's a good mention, Jay. Come on, Qs. Break. Maybe if I talk to it. All right, we'll see what happens here, guys. Will we get some downturn or not I'm looking to see if the Nvidia can make another low. If not, I could see that recovery coming in. Tesla's on this huge like trend line pullback.
You guys can take the charts whenever you want. I'm still watching RNXT here.
Yeah, Frey was a good one there.
Frey's
Black
been
Sky.
super strong.
I have a friend that invested in Black Sky. I like Black Sky as an investment, but you
What
just
is
gotta
it?
be careful.
Give me the rundown on it.
All right, so Black Sky is a satellite, like kind of like imaging satellite, and so they have a lot of satellites already. The competitive advantage that Black Sky has over the other three providers, of course, you guys knew there was a Maxar.
Yep, I remember Maxar.
Yeah, exactly. So that was the one that kind of was the major leader. And then Black Sky has recently gotten some contracts from them, or like starting to split their market share, right? And so I think in the long run, you see Black Sky market share go up, and you see, of course, Maxar's market share go down. Black Sky has a competitive advantage because theirs is smaller. So it's a smaller satellite.
Gotcha. Okay.
Apologies
Appreciate the
for
outlook
sneezing
there.
in y'all's ear. I tried to find my mouse to go mute, but yeah, couldn't beat it.
You need a hardware mute button, bro.
I have one, but
down
it takes
move
like a
there.
second and a
Q's
half
down
to
move.
mute.
Looking good here in the SQQQs. Can they take out the 86, 88 area? Canceling my stop now. Just looking to try to get this nice little breakout here and then sell it up into the 90s, at least some of it.
Come on, oil. Come on, oil.
No, go down, oil.
Pass.
Frey, just an absolute monster here today. RNXT, yeah, feeling a little heavy here. Don't want to get trapped.
Still a little pop, SQQQs. Come on, get to those 90s.
All right, I would try some oil here at 70.03. I'm in with 3 contracts on the MCL. Oh, boy. The power of you? Unfortunately not. You've got the only way you'd be able to do that is if you had money in both accounts and then you went and sold and bought. But besides that, you've got to go through this, paperwork process, and that takes some time, I believe.
Yep. No shortcuts around paperwork.
Nope.
RNXT coming back towards the VWAP here.
All right, going to look to see if we hold 78s here, but it's not going through the highs there. So I wanted to hold 78s, hold the 90 EMA, and then go right back up through that 1990s. Qs go through the next lows, and then just start to see some of the stocks like go. NVIDIA is really a good indicator to see. I want to see like 410 show up on NVIDIA to show me that, yeah, the Qs are trying to let go a little bit today.
You have PayPal that's looking to break 190s again.
RNXT back up here. It looks like there's a little bit of size at 306 if they can take it. Might get a pop there.
I tried to buy 200 shares of Apple, and it said I didn't have enough money, and it's because I tried to buy 2,000 shares of Apple, and I definitely don't have enough money for that in there.
All right, setting a little bit of a trailing stop here on SQQQs at 76, looking for it to rip through the 90s. Going to give it a chance here.
Apple coming at VWAP.
86. Come on, give me that last little break.
Which screen is it, Mitch? Is it this one?
You got you. SQQQs, yeah. Yeah, I also got it on the other one too. It's just top right chart. There's multiple charts on that one.
RNXT going higher. Here we go.
Top right.
Here we go. RNXT. Let's pop that 315, 318 spot.
My average price on Apple, by the way, is 189.67s. which is right near VWAP.
All right, here you go for that attempt.
I'm out of RNXT here. I don't want this to go red on me. Might go more. There it goes. There it goes. There's 318. There it goes. Oh, still made some money on it, but damn, did not do a great job there. Had it telegraphed, and they pulled it, of course. Broke a new high and they pulled it. Okay, well, I'm glad I got my money. I'm going to go to the washroom. BRB.
See ya.
All right, let's see if I can get this profit here. I'm like really close, hands on the trigger, really, if I need to get out here on the SQQQs. The Qs could still go up, man. So I'm just trying to be quick with the profits here, trying to get back into the green. Don't want to see 77 show up. 77s and I'll get out. Should hold the 9 EMA now and get back up there. This is the last kind of like third support there for the 1 minute rule of 3 on the SQQQs. And that's the top right chart for me here. Let me see if it could get to another lift here. No, there's the 78 test. Might get a bid 77. Nope. Came right back up there through the 1980s. And I don't want to even see that 77 show up because if it does, I'll probably just go to 76 and 72. There's 78, and it comes right back off of it, so that's good there.
Come on, Apple. Come on,
Gonna be a
Apple.
slight wick here, maybe.
By the way, Ulta, we are now $4 in the money. Feel free to do what you would like.
77 show up. It recovers. Place and stop at 1976 here, just to make sure I take the profits if it does cut again. There's 76. I'm out. Take the profits. It cuts right back down. And I could get back into the name at 1972 where I just got out, right? Where I just got in. But we'll see if the Qs finally do cut down or not. The Qs recovering there just makes me not want to battle it.
Apple, we're up about 20 cents in the money. Feel free to do what you would like on that one. On the oil trade, we're only up about 3 cents, so nothing to do there.
Ron, great trade. I'm out of Joby. Thanks, Ryan, for the tip. Stock showed up on 3 of my scanners. Hey, Ron, when you marry data points together like that, you have the workings of a good trade. Great job, my man. Love seeing success early in the morning.
Well done. Here's Apple now banging on 190. Here. Come on, baby. Let's break that 190 and let's go for 3 trillion. Come on.
Buddy is extremely upset that I'm working this morning. He wants to play.
All right, 15-minute chart still intact there for the SQQQs. So I'll just keep watch on that. That's a move back through 1985s. I can always just scout for the move higher through the 20s if I need to. But I'm going to keep watching to see QS, see if that keeps going higher. Let's go to Starbucks, as that's right off the VWAP here. Keeping an eye on that.
Oil, by the way, pop in here. I'm going to go ahead and have a limit order to sell some at 70.48. We are currently up about 30 cents in the money there. So my 3 contracts are up about 90 bucks right now. Still about 20 cents left to go on that one. We're looking good. Ulta, I'm going to go ahead and close it out here. Let's see what the spread is like. It's not that bad. Ulta, I went ahead and closed out at 469.12. I am all out of Ulta. We went ahead and got ourselves 4 points on that move. Very happy with that.
Nice trade, Zunaid.
Thank you. Now let's take a look at oil. I mean, this is just blasting off to the upside. This is what I like to see on oil.
No.
What happened?
Nah, I'm just fucking with you.
Oh, because are you short or you're just, hating?
I'm just short. I'm short.
Oh, you're actually? I didn't know that. My bad.
Not oil, but short oil names.
Well, good luck.
Let's
hey, the 70's been rejected. It rejected again. What happened?
I stepped in, and my 3 contracts on my 3 mini contracts went ahead and pumped it up.
What happened? Third rejection, triple top at 70.
But here's the thing, though. Look at how many times we've been chipping away at that 70.
Yeah, you have been chipping away at that 70.
Went ahead and
that's the level. That's the level to watch. That's the level to watch for sure.
Went ahead and sold my 2 contracts. Now I've got 1 remaining. We're going to let this puppy continue moving higher as it pleases. Now let's go ahead and take a look at Netflix and see how we want to play this one, because you did have some $500 calls come in on the ask on Netflix expiring July 14th. It's not the biggest size, so not something I'm going to react to right away. Apple, once again, trying to knock on the doors of 190.
RNXT moving back towards the highs, new highs here. So this has really been working. Been back and forth though. Been kind of a tough scalp. Now that I've got some profits on it, I guess I could be a little bit more conservative with the stop, but just trying not to give back any of the gains that I have here today.
Frey pulling back, almost back to the VWAP 917s. First support that I see around for it to hold. Then next layer for me would be 901. So if you want to understand Frey, Open trying to recover VWAP, just to kind of mention that, and Tesla. But I'll put Frey on the bottom right chart here so we can keep that. You can see right there 930s right now, but I'd look at it on the 1, and you can see the 1 is this VWAP's a little bit higher, at least for Moo. I have another VWAP on 923. So, hey, take it as you see it there. We'll see if it comes back to this next layer. 918 used to be resistance, acted as this support. So that's kind of the level that I see here. Qs holding VWAP now. And I'm glad I got out of that SQQQs. Didn't take the loss there. Instead, got out with a small profit.
Oil now 60 cents in the money. We're above 70.50. I feel like my next target, let's go ahead and take a look at oil, because now I only got 1 contract, right? So I can kind of have a little bit of fun with it. I'm thinking right around 70, 80s is probably what I want to get out. So maybe if I can go ahead and let me go ahead and actually cancel that stop loss, move up here. If I can go ahead and get about 70, 82, I will go ahead and get out.
Take that money, baby.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see what happens. Lucid having a good day up there, about 684 is almost a 7 now. OSTK, man, that stock pulled back here. That looks interesting there. Man, when this stock goes, it goes, man. That looks interesting there for the 30 break there. I just missed it off the 2950s, but looks interesting there for me.
Backstrap, I am horrible at small account challenges, and I've proven myself to do just that. I am actually at $6, if even that. So I'm gonna go ahead and say
$6
at 0, and I'm saving the $6 so I can get me a Big Mac with tax.
$6.
But Ryan and Mitch have been doing a much better job with the small account challenge than I have.
Hey, you get your free shares, baby.
Yeah.
Actually, I think he has to maintain an account balance of at least $100.
Yeah, I do. I didn't want to bust his bubble on that one, bro.
Look at that.
OSTK here holding that 30, now above it. It was right there at 29.66 when I first looked at it, but it was just too fast of a climb there for me to jump in it. I like this kind of like little trend line approach here. And then if you look at the 15-minute chart, it's still green. Like it never went red there. It just pulled back a little bit. Now trying to take that next level up. This one actually looking pretty strong today. Vroom, getting a lift. It seems like we're getting some squeezes around in the market, because I do see some smaller names that are pushing higher.
Well, Apple is not one of them, as that's headed to the downside.
Now it wants to head to the downside.
Yeah, once you got out of the short, apparently, as it's currently trading at about 189.30s or so.
Oh man, I don't know what happened there. We got a freaking big move there in the Qs. I'm trying to get short some Starbucks here, but man, that was a big move. What happened there? Damn, missed that on the SQQQs. It's already through that 85. They're towards almost 20 now. I don't know what the hell happened there, team. That was fast, man. I was looking at another stock.
The real is moving.
Stop loss for me on this Apple trade is 189.20, so we're about 7 cents away from getting stopped out.
So here's the real. Becca, when does your alert service start? That's I guess my only question here. Real popping here again.
Becca, you pumping us? The stocks?
SQQQ's ripped higher, bro.
Stopped out on
Tesla
Apple.
Tanked. Everything went down, man. That was a quick move.
Yeah, it sure was. Was that a SCOTUS decision?
I don't know what happened.
I
there,
think
bro.
U.S.
I don't know
Supreme
what
Court
happened
rules
there.
in favor of challengers to race-conscious student admissions at university. That's an affirmative action ruling there. I don't see why that would move the market,
Okay,
though.
watch SoFi. Watch SoFi. If that's a ruling
No,
on that.
That's not about the student loan.
Okay, all right. So repeat that for me, Ryan, because maybe I didn't.
It's about affirmative action. So here's what the news post actually reads. U.S. Supreme Court rules in favor of challengers to race-conscious student admissions at universities. I don't think that is responsible for this move.
Yeah,
maybe. I don't. Pending home sales was the print we had before that.
I got a little bounce, but not much bounce in the market here. All right, I'm going to take a shot here, short Starbucks, but man, got to be careful here because honestly, I don't understand this move, but it could leak down here. So I'm taking a little shot here. Got short some Starbucks, but I got a horrible fill there at 98.19. Right now, risk is 35, but
okay, let's go back to the trade tool here. Which screen? This one, Mitch? S-Bucks?
Yeah, a lot going on. Starbucks. It's just there's a lot. I honestly don't know why the Qs just wiped out.
Well, so what are you seeing for the Qs in terms of an entry point? Given
none
now.
Maybe pull back to the 9 EMA. That's the only way I could look at it. But the truth is, it's hard now because like you would have to be like shorting like below the lows of today, like where it was at 363.36. Maybe that's the support that you're looking for to act as resistance. I just hate shorting on breakdowns, right? I look to short on strength. I don't look to short on weakness. So that's the harder part now, that you got to short on weakness if you're going to get after this trade. And that's where it gets even harder. Let's see what happens there on the Qs. We'll pick another low here. Let's find out. I have the Qs in the top left corner here. SQQQ, man. That thing. Didn't even give me a chance to catch that thing. It was a rocket back up through the 1970s up there to $20. Right to it. And they're going through the 20s right now.
Qs could try to find some support around this 362.
I honestly don't know why it took that much of a beating.
Pow, pow.
And the thing is, I wasn't watching the Qs on the level 2 there, so I didn't know if there's like a big order that went through there, but something else.
Ricky Fowler, what an approach shot. Holy smokes.
Ooh, I kind of like Netflix here, but the market's kind of stinky.
Easy Mike, why pick a direction? No worries. My man trades pairs. It's like, why pick directions?
What's happening in top? Top spiking here. I don't see any news on top, TOP.
Yeah, I have no idea, bro. That
No,
just seems
no.
to me like
let me know if you guys find anything on top. Here's the chart. Yeah. Ripping here on a volume pop. I don't see news for it. You know what? Let me see, Jay. Let me see if I can get his score. That's a great question. That is a great. Hang on a sec. Let me try it right now. Give me a sec.
Video went to 407, man. Tesla, Apple are the stocks that I'm like kind of keeping an eye on here. Hanging out. Will they recover really big?
It's a red day for me at the moment. We are down $19.
I'm actually having a fairly decent day here.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm still down on the prop, about 50.
I'm up about 350 in the main account.
Ooh.
There you go, my boy. Q's looking like they're trying to recover a little bit here.
Just got a text about top possible short squeeze.
Yeah,
I'm checking into it. That's not confirmed. That's just speculation, but I'm checking into it. Thank you, Vex. I'm just trying to do what you do every day here and find things that are moving, and maybe we can make a trade out of it.
Hey, Smoke Tuna saying not in the zone this morning, and that's one of the number one ways to save yourself, right? Understanding who you are. Are you in the zone or are you out of the zone? Very important, team. Look at the Qs trying to recover here a little bit, so just be careful out there.
I am in Netflix, by the way. Not the best fill, unfortunately, but 429.41. I am in.
Can't blame you on that one. I can see that bottoming action around there.
Yep, and if you go ahead and look left, you had a support come in towards the end of day yesterday, right around this level, so that's what we're playing it off of.
Stopped out there in Starbucks, and that's just how quickly it goes. You see that downside move, the Qs come down, and look, they're already bouncing. The chop is real. We don't know what happened there. It could have been a big buy. There was about 400,000 shares in about 1 minutes there, so 800,000 shares all of a sudden going through around 364, 360, 350s. That's levels that I'd be looking at to see if we recover.
That's funny. EKS, we had talked about this a little bit yesterday. Obviously, our average wins and different things like that can formulate as well, but also we have different revenue streams. We all do different things, whether it's for Benzinga, outside of it, whatever the case may be. So that actually helps us trade better because we don't need to just trade to make money, or else that could have messed with our mental. Some people do, but those are the individuals that have been in it for quite some time.
As far as top goes here, here's the short interest, only 8.6% and 0.2 of a day to cover. So not high short interest, but definitely squeezy. By the way, Jay, just to answer your question here about did Raz break 100? He was part of a scramble trying to get the score. But apparently they took all of Hardy's shots on the back nine. So Raz didn't out hit the pro one time enough to take a shot, which is not surprising. I don't think I would either. I think Hardy was even par. He just never got an iron shot close to the pin. So anyway, there you go.
All right, looking around to see what's going to happen here. It's just a trappy type of day. Be careful out there, team. SQQ's pulling back here. We'll see if it holds around 1985s. Gets a move right back up, but
market bouncing from that pull here.
Yep. We're in the money by a point on Netflix. Feel free to do what you want. VWAP is around 432.50s or so. So I'm gonna probably sell around 432s. So I'm looking to get about 2 to 3 points on Netflix. Oil trade still in the money, looking pretty there. And I still want Apple to crack that 190 so I can load up. Load up. Where is... Ooh, still underneath.
I'm going to take my last trade of the day on the prop account. Another short on Starbucks. I'll give it another $50. That's about it. If not, I'll just call it a wrap. It hasn't been that type of day, so. Got to know when to hold them.
Know when to
fold them, baby. We'll find out. Such a choppy type of market day, man, and I'm a little tired. I know it stayed up late till I'm not an over midnight kind of guy anymore.
Yeah, neither am I. I'm a morning person now.
Yeah, man, I stay over midnight and I'm just like feeling like I got knocked out in the morning.
Here's Netflix coming up towards where's my sell targets? My order is at 432.35. But I'm gonna be pissed if it doesn't. Oh, okay, don't do that. Just dude, come on. Feel me.
One that came back to VWAP just bounced off of it recently. JOBY.
Farfetch popping here.
Farfetch. The power of you, man. No worries, dude. It happens sometimes, man. It happens. I've been like, I got to see if I'm like overall positive on Starbucks. I've made money, lost money, made money, lost money. That's how it was yesterday. It was just like, this is a battle. At least overall, it was positive yesterday. But looking like after 5 days green, I might go red today.
All right, I'm just going to go ahead and close out of Netflix here. Lock in the gains. My exit price is 431.77. We had got into this one at I don't even know where it went. It was a market order at 429.41. So a nice 2-3 points on that one.
Nice, man.
You're out.
You're 2 for 2 today, aren't you, Zunaid?
No, I lost on Carvana to start off, and then Apple. But we talk about risk to reward ratios. So after that, I am now up approximately $80. So I was just down 19. That one trade got me up $80.
Nice clawback.
Thank you.
All right, the Qs here rejecting that 363.36, so it's right around the level where I was like, well, maybe we can get back towards that support and use it as resistance, and that could be a level to look for entry. But I don't even think it comes back to VWAP if we're going to break through right back through the lows. That's where it gets difficult, right? How do you jump into this type of trade? If you look on the SQQQs, it didn't even get towards that 85 kind of trend line, kind of pullback look. I was looking at that on like kind of a 5-minute, like, hey, come back to this 9 EMA. That's a 1985, and then to make a move back through the 20s. Seems to make sense there for the SQQQs. We'll see if it does go higher or not.
Where is...
If the Qs can really kind of do a big move through 362, I could even just like, look for that wipeout through 98s today, and then that would be a really nice win for me on Starbucks. I'll be back in the green.
AAPL 23.
We'll see what happens.
30 calls 190.
NVIDIA, I think, is one to watch, right? Because if the Qs just come back ripping for the day, NVIDIA will come back ripping for the day. And so that one's an interesting risk to return here around the 408 or 409.
NVIDIA might lead the Qs in that scenario.
It has. It led the downside action. If you look at when the Qs leaked and when NVIDIA leaked, NVIDIA was the first kind of one to like kind of really start making a huge down move, and it was weak all day. You can see how NVIDIA never really got above the VWAP today. VWAP is that orange line that you're seeing on this chart. And so it never got back above the VWAP today. But if it recovers VWAP, and we know how NVIDIA loves to do this move where it's like, look at these hourly charts, man. This is up, down, up, down, up, down. So it's a very hard chart to play.
Taking a shot at Apple here. Contracts 190 calls expiring this week in at 79 cents. Also going to go ahead and try to grab some equity if it does go ahead and pop over 190. But for now, we're going to stick with the Lottos. 79 cents paid for the 190 calls expiring this week in ticker AAPL as we look to break 190.
All right, what's going on out there, team? AI mentioned in the chat. I wonder how AI is doing.
Bum, 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 ba-dum.
Ooh, it's rejected VWAP multiple times here. Looks a little bit weak. But if it comes back to 36, that seems like a recovery level. Hourly support right around these level at 35 for AI.
Daddy Backstrap, I don't think we expect any more Supreme Court decisions today, so I think that you're right. The loan forgiveness one will come tomorrow. It's one of the things we'll be waiting for tomorrow. Tom saying thanks for Tom, you're welcome, but you ended up taking that trade. You pushed the buttons. You risked the money. Pat yourself on the back. If I helped at all, that's excellent.
Driving. Top is driving, man. 752.
Yeah, I mean, that's wild.
That's wild. Yeah, that's a squeezy type of move, and you can see the algorithm. Look how the 9 EMAs are holding for right now. I'd like to see that trend just continue.
I gotta call them back.
Joby's coming back. Let's take a look at Joby.
Yeah, it's coming back here.
This has been such a monster move over the past couple of days.
Such a monster move, bro. That's why I went short it earlier. I was trying to get that move right back down.
I don't see any setups right now. SGTX kind of hanging around the same level. Wave not doing anything. Doma for you penny players curling up there. ATOS spiking to the highs. So I guess this would have been a trade. Missed that though. EOSE holding around 535. Where's Noel been? I hope Noel comes back. What a great call that was.
Apple keeps playing with our hearts.
Shoes look like they might be rejecting here. Nice little rejection there. Now we're getting that little bit of a move. We went to the 85s there for the SQQQs, so I could scout back up towards 20 if I wanted to. I'm going to stick with the Starbucks trade right now. I'm up a decent amount in that one. I just want to kind of really cut down here through the 98.20s. AMD looks like an interesting play for me also. It can either be a VWAP bounce play back above 111.30s or short back below 111. Like the short.
Yeah, RNXT is flushing. That's a good call there. Smoke Tuna, that looks like that's coming in here. That's probably done for the day. Boy, looking back, I'm glad I got out with a profit on that one. That was not the easiest trader this morning. But hey, made it work.
All right, short a little bit of AMD there, risking a little bit off the 111.25s. All right, I got some there at 110.95. Looking for AMD to come right back down.
Moore's calling out Megal. That's a previous big time runner. Let's see, Megal is moving up here on volume. I don't really see a setup there though.
Come on, Apple.
Not seeing any other setups. HKD, Jay, that moved with Megal before. That's up 7.5% here. HKD pop on volume. Interesting here on HKD. This is down from what? Oh God, it's just driving me insane, man. This HKD down from 24.42. No, it's just what happened. I try to click to change the time frame.
Yeah.
And it changes the ticker because the recent ticker menu pops up. And it only happens when I'm streaming on this show or happy hour. I cannot replicate it any other time. And it's driving me crazy. I cannot figure out what's going on. If I can figure out what's going on, our developers will fix it for me, but I can't figure it out.
The devs are great. Here's Apple trying to go at 190 again. Oh my God.
Jeez, man. These are just so choppy right now.
Just hit the 3 trillion already.
Law of large numbers there. Hut. Okay, good call, Wiss. Wiss said take a look at Hut. Hut, maybe if it breaks this 333, let's put that up here. Maybe we get a range break pop. 332, some big size here on Hut. Hut coming back in a little bit.
We might be making lower highs on Apple, which obviously isn't a great sign if you're long.
All right, looking to see if I get that takedown now in Starbucks. It's just rejecting the VWAP here, but anything, a move back up above 40s, and it could just easily squeeze right back. And the Qs just keep chopping. It's the Qs that need to go down through the 363 if I want to get my trade at least. 363.11s. Can I get that break? What you got, man?
Smoke Tuna calling RVYL. Did I get that right? RVYL needs volume here, Smoke Tuna.
363 08s, 05s, 99s, 96. Now I need to see that hard candle come in here, and you see a quick recovery right back through that 363. So 363 level, very important to watch right now. That's where we did that big bar before, and you're holding it right now. That looks more bullish to me right now, that it's holding there versus making a big bar through it. So I can show you guys exactly what I'm talking about here on the Qs. And, you know, saying that looks bullish is actually against my position, right? So you see this big bar, right? You see how we tried to come right back to cut that big bar, the low there at 362.97. We come right here and we just wick there. It's a big level right now for that bar to try to see if we can hold that bar on the downside. 363.05s here. What will happen?
BBAI is pushing.
See another hold of 363 there. Once right to 363, holds. It's the battle of the 363s right now. Will the Bulls hold? Or will the Bears take control? 90s, 89.
Market kind of looks like it wants to
80s.
move back to the lows, to be honest.
They cut the 363. Let's see if it recovers it.
Ooh. Randomly, I'm craving
A and D going down a little bit. That's looking decent already. At least it rejected the VWAP. Anything above VWAP, probably can get out on that now.
Lost 20 cents on Apple. I'm out.
All right. Nice.
Zunaid, I'm
here
craving
on A&D.
Indian food. I'm getting Indian food for dinner tonight. I've decided already.
Q's, come on. Wipe out. Let's go.
I'll get some halal, guys.
All right, A and B looking good here. Looking for a crack towards that 110.20s, and then going to take majority of it off there.
What was I gonna say? Ryan, what was that Mediterranean place that just went public?
Cava, C-A-V-A.
That's what I might check out. Zunaid, if you were going to play options on SoFi for the 10 a.m. news tomorrow on loans, would you take 0 expirations or tomorrow morning before, or take the weeklies? How would you play it? Okay, cool. Let me go ahead and fire up my E-Trade because I love trading options there. Give me about 5 minutes to fire things up here.
Come on, Q's. Take out them lows.
In your question, though, Daddy Backstrap, you're also assuming that the news will come out at 10 a.m. I haven't done any research on this, so I'm going off of what you're saying, because I think one of the risks that folks have is you play something, everyone and their mama is expecting the news, therefore IV is inflated on those options, and if that news doesn't come, the move obviously is, not going to be there as much, and then the IV could go ahead and die down as well. So something to kind of keep in mind. But I'm just waiting for my E-Trade to fire up here. Then I can take a look at open interest and different things like that for you.
BBAI pushing higher here, new highs. Smoke or the power review, excuse me. Ryan, Hut or Mara? Honestly, I think I like Mara more just because it moves around more. Hut seems to be kind of a slower trader. Trades a little bit thicker. I think I prefer Mara. I have positions in neither of them, though. Just FYI. BBAI going higher here?
Q's are just holding on the lows right now. I'm just looking to see if we can get that last cut down, but it ain't looking good. I don't know which way it's going to go right now. It's just kind of just a little bit of a chop.
I think what I would do, and again, I'm not saying this is the best strategy, but this is what I would do, is I would go ahead and buy the $9 calls and the $9 puts expiring this week, half the size today and half the size at the open tomorrow. Or maybe 3/4 today and a quarter tomorrow. But you pay about 35 cents to buy the call, about 28 cents to buy the put. So you're spending about $70 per contract on both sides. And that way you get a move, you're good. If you get at least a 50-cent move on the upside, you're good. If you get at least a 30-cent move to the downside, you're good. So that's the way I would play it. No clue if it's, going to be profitable or not. But worst case scenario, you lose about $70-$80 if nothing really goes in the money, plus the contract price itself.
Smoke Tuna
already bouncing.
Smoke Tuna saying nice move on ACHR. ACHR, this trading with Joby here, did break the top here. We took the top off ball. Trading higher here on ACHR. This one a pretty decent vehicle to trade. Traded this quite a bit actually.
If Kava is on Uber Eats, it's over for me. I can tell you that.
Damn, Q's recovered. It just seems like there's a chop between. We're playing the range right now. We went right off the support, right to it, and then we stopped. like it was like a wall was there at 362.30s, somewhere in there. There was a damn wall. So it went right to it. Like it was going fast. And that's why I was looking for that nice little breakthrough. Just did not get that. And so now you recovered that 363 that we talked about was important, right? Watch how if it holds 363 on this pullback, I could see it back at VWAP. And so that's where it's like, well, that's going to stop me out. I could either just break even right now, just get out, or just watch this move happen. So I'll probably just watch this move happen, but it don't look good. That recovery there shows me what? More institutional style level there, right? Where, yeah, you bring it to these big levels, this bigger support, but there's some bigger wall there that wants to buy the market right back. That's just what I see, but I definitely think there's somebody there that didn't want the market dropping. And you can see also what? Volume increase there. That also tells me that. Big jump of volume. It goes from 98,000 shares in the 1 minute to immediately 215. So almost getting stopped out here in AMD, almost getting stopped out in Starbucks. It ain't looking good. Qs are recovering. It pulls back where to? 363.07. Now back to 363.30s. Looks like it's going to climb its way back. And that's how this market could be choppy and chop you out. It's been like that. And even the downside moves, they're not clear. And all of a sudden you get these little sweep moves. So it's a little bit difficult, but now the market's starting to recover.
Yeah, Becca, I found it on my end here as well. They're just not open because obviously it's only 10:30, but we might be trying some kava later on today.
I wonder if there's a kava near me, because now you guys are making me starving, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Stopped out there, AMD. That's frustrating. Was up about, what, 50, 60 bucks on that name. Ooh, and then lost 25. So Qs were looking like it was about to wipe out. AMD was about to go to 110, and I was about to easily get a nice little 100 winner for risking only 20. And then the Qs just halted.
I have no kava near me, so bummer.
Sad.
You'll have to let me know how it is.
Yeah, I don't think this kava is anywhere near me either. And then the Q's holding now. So it just seems to show it. And I could have got stop hunted on that AMD, but because I literally probably got top tick today on that. Yeah, 26. I got out there at 25. So still in the Starbucks. Just going to keep on that position. That's the only one that can be the savior for the day. We'll find out what happens.
Crassy saying, what happened to the volume? Damn. Yesterday, we actually had one of the lowest volume days in a long time. I can't remember exactly when. Extremely low volume yesterday. I wouldn't be shocked if we had the same thing today. And I would also imagine tomorrow could be a low volume day, and obviously Monday being a half day.
Taking a look at FedEx. Ooh, baby. If FedEx pops 250, I'm rocking with it. Set an alert for FedEx above 250 and then see if it fits your risk appetite in case you do want to go ahead and play that one. Let's see where we are on that.
All right, guys, thinking about taking a little bit of a moo trade here. Looking at Sox S for moo trade here. So let's see if I take it here. You know what? Let's take a shot. All right, there, guys. Just grab some there. 27 shares at 10.50. So there you guys have it. Taking a little bit of some moo action here. You guys smash the like out there. If you guys looking at Sox S to the upside here for a break back above the 1065s. Don't want that to break 1036 today. Let's see if it goes right back towards those levels or not.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and head out. We've got an interview coming up today. It should be a good one, especially with the news that's coming out with, what was it? It was
Regeneron.
Thank you. I was going to say Restova, but that's a completely different company. We've done so many of these. But should be fun talking to him. I'll be back in about 20 minutes to go ahead and take care of that interview, and I'll see y'all in a bit.
Have a good one, Zunaid. We'll see you in a little.
Yeah.
Oh, Mitch.
And let's go.
We'll
Apple
see what
to the
happens
upside.
here. We'll see what happens here if we get us a little pop here on success. What I like about this is the daily levels. Really, it's daily has a nice little support.
Take care,
It's
Rich.
pulled back. 1010 support held today. So I'm looking to see if we can get a move back above the 1050s. We'll see if we get just a quick sweep right back up. AMD's already pushed back there towards the 111.60. So it looked like the Q started holding that move there. And it did another downside move through 363s. So I'm telling you, man, it just seems to me like institutional buying around 363s today and 362.50s. So this could drive the market right back up. But I'm playing a little bit of a turn. We'll see if it actually does work. Or maybe it's just algo's work off that 363s. But definitely there's some kind of buying going on there, because they're not letting it go down, right? And so the bears are looking at that little downturn and thinking that it's going to keep going, but it ain't right now, at least. All right, we'll see what happens on this one. Let's see where my risk is going to be here and how much that would get me out on. Looking at 1036. All right, so that'd be at 374. So I could actually risk a little bit more than that. Going to the hourly levels to look for hourly support. 1033s. Let's see if we can do 1032 risk. Yeah, it's about 486. That looks perfect there. So for right now, I'm setting that as a stop out if I need to. 1032s, looking for the 1050 pop here. And the pop could maybe get me all the way up there towards about like 80 cents pop. About from 1050s, we're talking about 36 maybe. I could see 1080s, 11 come into play.
Wiss talking about AGLE. Let's take a look at that here real quick.
AOBY now starting to break down a little bit there. That's just been on a slow leak now.
So, Wiss, this is the AGLE daily chart, right? So this thing traded up almost to $1, came back in. Looks like it's curling now. I like this daily chart setup. Did this look like, is this what Nightscope did?
SPCE showing some strength here. Remember, they have a launch at 11 a.m. It's 10:41, starting to get some volume.
Not really. It doesn't really look like Nightscope, but AGLE, I like this daily chart setup a little bit more than Nightscope, to be honest. Maybe we get more movement here. This is a good spot, Wiss.
Jeez, man, they're just so choppy today. The Chop Fest. It continues. Chop Fest 2023, baby. All right, what's going on out there, guys? ACHR toast. Yeah, toast. If Joby's toasted, I would think that would get toasted also.
My cat is so mad that I'm working. It's crazy.
I had to kick Hendrix out because he was so mad. He tried to take my chair. He was like, yo.
He tried to take my chair.
Yeah, he
Take
does.
that.
He does, Ryan. You should see him. He just lays out. He just does like the huge arm. He's just like, yeah, I'm not getting off of this.
BBAI continuing to move up here. SOUN curling. See if SOUN can go through 5.
Just looking at the Qs could come down. That'd be interesting, right? Just to give some more chop action out there. Last trade, of course, is it's a Starbucks one. I'm still in that, man. A little part of me is like, just cover it. Just
IMUX.
end the day, but I'm trying.
Sorry, Mitch. IMUX coming up to a level
my
here.
friend.
214 is that level.
IMUX. What do you see here, my friend?
Yeah, just this chart, this intraday chart.
There you go. I have it nice and big for everybody to see it.
214, your high print. I kind of want to take some here. I kind of want to give this a shot on the IMUX. Let's see.
It
Would have been better at the VWAP.
I'm going to add some towards my trade here.
I'm going to try some IMUX here for a break at 214.
Just got hit a little bit more there for the success on the Moo account. Dude, and it recovers so quickly. Dude, the Qs are just so frustrating off that 362.50. Take out that 362.50, man. All right.
Come on, IMUX. Let's see if we can break this off. Let's do something. Let's do something. SOUN still doing its curl here. There goes 214 on IMUX. All right, we get a push here. God, big prints that took that spot out.
All right, so I'm in on Moo here with 40 shares here on Success, stepping up to the plate. That's for sure. 1050 is my average cost. So I was able to get 1051 on the ad. So all I did was just wait there. It was pretty much a time position. And as I see the Qs starting to break, I'm taking a shot, right? Starbucks is now going deep into my favor. I'm looking for a 98 break here to take a pretty good amount off. Why? Because I'm deep into the red. So I need to pay myself, right? If I don't pay myself, I'm being dumb here on Starbucks because, yeah, this could get me back into the green on the day. But what's more important? To me, it's just more important keeping the account in the right direction.
Yeah, pay yourself on the way up, Mitch. Never a bad idea.
Yeah, man, because the truth is, especially when you're down big, what's the number one thing that you're thinking about a lot of the times? Oh, I need to get back to the green. I need to get back to a nice green day. No, that's not what I need to do. I need to crack 98. If I crack 98 here, I'll have a pretty good, decent profit, and I could just take majority of it off. Got to stay with it, though, because it's bouncing a little bit right off 98.08s here. Q's bouncing, of course, man. The Qs, man, they're frustrating a little bit today. It held the 362.40. Last 1 minute high was 362.44. So that's kind of what I'm looking at here on the Qs, looking to see that it doesn't go above that. If not, I'd probably just run towards the profit there on Starbucks, just because I need to get myself back into the green on the prop account. If I can do that, we'd be looking really good.
Top halted to the upside right at its day high, 760. Top halted. Huge move there on big volume.
There's a little more leak there in the Qs. That's looking good. If it could just crack through 362, we can maybe go lower, but we're not getting it right now. Little bounce back towards 330, 362.40s. And wouldn't you know it, there was a lot of volume that came in recently. Man, it just seems to me like they want to turn it back, but I'm staying in it for now.
Smoke Tuna saying Joby found a bottom. Let's check out Joby real quick here.
Got to be patient here.
There goes IMUX. 21 is the next spot on IMUX. 221 currently at 219. Here's top halted. Take a look at IMUX here. Nice little move right through there. See if we can go to that next spot. Next spot, 221. Let's check Joby.
Already pulling back there, guys.
Joby may have found a bottom there. Check Frey. Frey curling back up. Maybe we take VWAP out here on Frey. 922 I have, or 920, excuse me. I have VWAP.
Stop set there for me on Starbucks to take some profits just in case it starts coming back against me. 98.19s, but I'm looking for a little bit more. But wouldn't you know it, the Q's already bouncing back there. So it probably could get hit there. That would take majority of it out and take at least some profits to just limit down the damage. Big pullback here in the success right back towards 1050s. So there you guys see it. It's such chop. It just doesn't want to let go. It just seems like it, guys. Even we get this downside action, but it just seems like it doesn't let go. How many times have you guys heard me say this now? 1, 2, 3 times, right? The rule of 3. Really quickly, this is starting to maybe start forming what? An area of support where it just seems like institutional buying going on in this area. So we'll see what happens there. If that keeps showing up, you could drive it right back up through that 364. So that's where it gets a little bit difficult on the day, team. Just got hit on some of that Starbucks there, right back up there towards that 98.20s now. Now only got 100 shares left there of Starbucks. And we'll see if it goes lower. But, man, it just hasn't been that day for me where I'm getting the flush. If I got one flush there, I could have got right back into the green. It's not looking like I will today. So it's just kind of one of those days where the market isn't going in any direction right now. It's just chopping around.
Top should be due to open here pretty soon. This is going to pop up, I think, top.
Yeah, I got you. We should go pink. I'm about that life. We can go pink. About it.
Stop IMUX on the pull for even.
Is this pink enough? No, that looks purple.
That's purple.
Yeah, it's just more like, I mean, it was pink on here at least. Does that look pinky? No, it doesn't.
That's purple.
Pink. Nah, I won't go to pink, man.
The purple's nice. I like purple a lot.
I gotta play with it. Man. We could always do the little fade action. Like I'm in a little party. There you go. We'll do a little, like I'm in a little bit of a party.
A little rave, a Mitch rave over here. My ears hurt now.
Da-na-na-na-na. All right, Qs look like they're, dare I say, rejecting to go back above 363. Dare I say it? I don't know if I can or not. Oh, man. And just when I say that, you know it comes back, man. All right. For the rest of Starbucks, I'll just stop break even. I can always get back in the name. Not going to lose anymore on the name, of course.
Becca's saying I'm not that old. I feel it. Clubbing in your 40s, going to Costco.
Let's go. Let's go. Joby found the bottom. Yeah, maybe. How'd that overstock do?
IMUX right back to that 14 spot.
I have no idea what the Qs want to do. This has been Chop City, bro. Now I get a down action right back into the Starbucks name. So I'm thinking about taking an ad and just holding break even on the rest. Need to come back here to like 20.
Yeah, no hate, no hate. I accept it. I'm almost there. I accept it. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm at Costco every weekend anyway. I'm in bed by 11 o'clock. So
Yeah, bro.
No adjustment is needed for me. No hate.
People tell me bedtime. You got a bedtime. I'm like, yeah, bro, I do. That bedtime keeps me alive. All right, we'll see what happens here, team. I can go after another trade, but man, in that type of day. Will the queues break down? How's NVIDIA doing? That came right back. Man, it just seems like a sideways long day, man. It's just been the chop out there. Be careful out there, traders. I think we're going to wrap it up here, team. It's about 10:55. We're going to bring Zunaid on, and we're going to get to another interview. It's been one of those days out there, team. Stay safe. Of course, you guys know I still have this Moo trade on, and you guys can always check out Moo. If you guys haven't done so already, what are you waiting for? Hit that QR code right on the screen right now. And, of course, I'll drop a link there if you just want to hit the link. And definitely check it out, guys. Right now, you could be getting a free share of Tesla and Google if you deposit up to $5,000. And, of course, they get you free stocks. So if you want to check that out, check that out. That's for the promotion for June. And we're about to get into July and might have a little special surprise for you guys in July. I'm working with Moo right now on it. But shh, don't tell them that I told you.
All right, guys, I'm heading out. Zunaid, good luck with your interview. Really looking forward to that. Thanks as always, folks, and we'll see you tomorrow.
All right, Ryan's out of here. I'm hopping out of here in just a second, too. And you guys smash the like out there. Zunaid's taking over. Have a great interview, my friend. Mute.
And this is why we have 2 mute buttons, so that I don't get canceled. I appreciate that.
Got you, my friend.
Jay, give me a thumbs up whenever you're ready, and then we can go ahead and get started. Appreciate that. Let me go ahead and start off by saying we do this for y'all in the community, right? We want to make sure that we can have your questions answered, which is why we bring on executives from publicly traded companies so that we can go ahead and interact with them, make sure that your questions get answered. And today we've got a special one as well, especially with the news that's coming out in the pharmaceutical space. We've got Jay Duker, who is the president and COO of EyePoint Pharmaceuticals. Ticker on NASDAQ is EYPT. Jay, welcome to the show. See, I did my mute trick. Now it's your turn to do the mute trick. See, I appreciate you being equal with me. I really do. But let's see if you can go ahead and figure that out real quick on your end.
I'll walk them through it right quick there. If you see a setting wheel bar down below, you can get there, and then you can go to audio. Make sure that the mic is selected. Sometimes it doesn't get our default mic there.
Yeah, so if you go to the settings, it's the third one. Let's see.
I'm out. You got me?
Well, I got you. Perfect. I appreciate you for hanging out with us this morning. I'm really looking forward to this interview, especially with news that's not just happening with your company, but also in your space as well. But before we get into all of that, for the folks that may not be familiar with your company, if you could explain it to me like I'm 5, what is it that your company does?
Sure. In a nutshell, EyePoint is a pure play pipeline biotech company based in Watertown, Massachusetts. We develop sustained release medications to treat serious eye diseases. In particular, back of the eye diseases like wet macular degeneration, diabetic retinopathy, diabetic macular edema.
The eye is something that is so crucial in not just our daily lives. Doesn't exactly, I don't know if I'd call it a disease. I don't know what the medical term is, but my father just had to get cataract surgery. So that was kind of like strenuous for me as a son. It's like, oh my God, what's going to happen? You think worst case scenario. So this is definitely interesting to me in terms of what we're going to go ahead and talk about. The biggest thing for me was we saw the FDA that declined Regeneron's high dose, right? And then it was supposed to be such a big milestone. I believe Wall Street kind of expected for this to go ahead and get the approval. But right now, it seems like the whole industry is kind of going through a consolidation, if you will, right? And in my opinion, you've got EyePoint that is definitely a disruptor in that space as well, especially with your EYPT 1901. But what does that exactly mean? What is EYPT 1901?
Yeah. So as you talked about Regeneron and Eylea, these are anti-VEGFs. VEGF is a protein that mediates disease in the back of the eye. And these drugs are injected in the office, in a retina specialist's office, monthly or every other month to control these diseases. These are a huge market, about $10 billion right now and growing in the United States every year. It's a huge market because people are getting older, they're living longer. So there are more people out there with these diseases. So these injections like Vabysmo and Eylea, they work really well and they're safe. The big problem is they don't work very long. So basically you develop wet macular degeneration and you're signing up for monthly or bi-monthly injections with your retina specialist for the rest of your life. What we're trying to do is make it better for people. Our drug, EYP-1901, we believe should last between 6 months and 9 months in the eye with a single injection. And we're developing it as what we refer to as maintenance therapy, meaning don't throw away your Eylea or your high-dose Eylea should it get approved. Go ahead, doctors, treat initially with those drugs. Get the patient as good as you can get them and then turn them over to us. And we believe we can take about 50% or more of wet macular degeneration patients and be able to get them to be treated every 6 months or longer safely and effectively.
Gotcha. So, yesterday, when I did an interview with another company, we kind of talked about, hey, you can either stop the problem, keep it from getting worse, or just making sure that it never happens in the first place. If I understand correctly, you're trying to make sure that, hey, we can contain it from it getting worse. Is that correct?
Correct. And that's essentially what all these anti-VEGFs do. They are not cures, but they control the bleeding and the fluid leakage that comes from wet macular degeneration or diabetic macular edema. We're just trying to make it better.
And are you competing with the high dose Eylea, or is it more like, hey, go ahead and take care of that, kind of like what you just said, and then you can go ahead and bring us in and kind of like a 1-2 punch? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I think that's more of how it will be used. I think the thing about ophthalmologists who treat these diseases is we like to individualize therapy. We like to treat the patient in front of us. So if you have a patient who can safely come in every 6 months for a shot, it's nice to give them that option. There might be patients who, even with our drugs, still require more frequent injections, in which case they may alternate with a high-dose Eylea and an EYP-1901.
I believe you've also got a couple of things in phase 2 trials at the moment as well.
do.
One of them that's expected to come out top line, I believe, in Q4 of this year. Can you tell us a little bit about those two?
Exactly right. So EYP-1901 is our big pipeline drug.
Right.
It is a combination of a small molecule that's called vorolanib, and we put it into what we call Durasert, which is our patented delivery system. Injected into the eye in the eye doctor's office, just like Eylea is. And it is in a phase 2 trial right now for wet macular degeneration. The trial is fully enrolled, 160 patients, 2 doses of our drug against an Eylea control. And we're going to have the top line results in the 4th quarter of this year.
Got it. And now for the, you have another drug, I believe, that you're expecting some top line results in Q2 of 2024. Any insight on that one?
Yep. Same drug, EYP-1901. Different indication, non-proliferative diabetic retinopathy. So in the United States, 30-40 million people have diabetes. About a third of them will develop this problem. And most of the time right now, eye doctors are just watching it. They're actually, Lucentis and Eylea are both approved to treat it, but very few patients are getting those treatments because they're so frequent. They need to be done initially monthly and then every quarter after that. It's very hard for these patients who are working to come in for all these injections. So we hope to get a label for EYP-1901 and non-proliferative diabetic retinopathy for every 9 months or longer. And we believe that convenience to the doctors and the patients will give us a big market share. So the phase 2 trial, that top line data is coming out in Q4 of next year.
Got it. Appreciate the insight.
Q2 of next year.
Q2 of next year. Yeah. Now, the results that you have, I just want to kind of differentiate because you've got a couple of results coming out, right? One of them is at the end of this year, so Q4, and the other one is Q2 of next year.
Correct.
If for some reason, God forbid, the results of this quarter that you're going to, the Q4 that you're going to report, if it's not what you expect, is that going to negatively impact next year's results, or are they kind of parallel in terms of studies?
It's a good question. And I have to answer the question with a caveat. It depends why it's not what we expect.
Very fair.
So
Yeah.
again, from a safety perspective, vorolanib is shown to be very safe in the human eye and animal studies and all the rest. You know, our inserts, Duracert, have been FDA approved in 4 products already. 80,000 patients worldwide have received them. So we don't think there's going to be a safety issue, but of course, that's why you do these studies.
Yeah.
And if it's something that we believe through design of a future study or a little tweak of the insert we can get around, we don't think there will be any long-term negative impact to that. But they are different diseases, and it's certainly conceivable that it may work better in one disease than another.
All right, appreciate the insight on that. Now, obviously, none of this is cheap, right? It requires quite a bit of money in terms of R&D, implementation. Got to pay the folks that are working for you as well. I know you sold one of your franchises for approximately $82 million. Does this sale kind of help pay off the bank debt or any type of debt that you've got and help put money in the balance sheet? Like, what are we looking at in terms of the financial health of the company to achieve the success that you're looking for?
Again, great question. So it's hard to run a biotech company developing drugs while having one commercial product. You need, you know, the whole commercial force, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And while the drug we sold off called Utique is a great drug, and our partner Alimera is going to do a great job with it, it was mildly profitable for us, but we were able to monetize it to over $80 million over the next 2 years. And what that did is it cleared our balance sheet of all debt, so we're debt free, gave us 2 more quarters of run rate, burn rate. So we actually, right now, with no other financing, we've got money to last us into 2025. And that's over a year after data. So we're in a really good balance sheet position as a result of that. And now we're a pure play biotech company with a pipeline and readout coming in about 5 months. So we think we're in a very, very strong position right now.
Now, you mentioned, you know, you have run rate or burn rate till about 2025, which is great to hear, especially, you know, assuming you get great data coming out, more companies will be, you know, interested in investing, things like that, government grants and things like that as well. So 2 questions. One, I'll start off with, does the government help subsidize any of this in terms of research, or is there any help that comes on that part? And if not, how are you kind of gauging that, hey, in the future, we can make this not as expensive for the average American to go ahead and utilize? That's one of the things, right? Hey, there's a solution for you to help you and your loved ones, but it might cost you an arm and a leg.
Well, so first of all, from the government perspective, early on, there are government grants for companies. But once you're at this clinical stage, the grant's really just not big enough to really cover the costs that you need. So you need to raise money either through a partner, the royalty sales. You know, there are all kinds of ways that we're looking at now to help fund those. But the other question is, what's the value to the greater world? You know, obviously to a patient who has to come in 6 times a year for a shot, now only has to come in twice a year, that's obvious value. But you've got to be able to price your products so that the government and insurance companies see the value as well. And that would be our intent. You know, there's all kinds of economic valuations you can do based on you know, simple things like how many visits do you save? How many tests do you save? But, you know, there may be additional value there too. It's conceivable that our drug has benefits beyond the anti-VEGFs that are out there. We have some data that we may have something called neuroprotection, which means we protect the retina from dying. And if we have that, then that's an advantage that will be worth a premium over what's out there now.
Yeah, and especially I'm glad you're also looking at the fact that, hey, Americans have to take time off of work, use their PTOs, try to take, you know, unpaid time leave to go ahead and come in and get these injections. And then also, I don't know, but how long it may take to recover from the injections. You know, like I said, when my father got his cataracts, he was kind of out of commission for a couple of weeks to make sure things were A-okay. We've talked about so much. We talked about the past, the present, the future, especially things to look forward to in the top line data of Q2 of 2024, but also Q4 of this year. Is there anything else in terms of catalysts that our viewers and potential investors should kind of know about in terms of what's coming ahead?
Yeah, sure. Well, you know, we have this platform, Duracert, and it is able to safely deliver molecules to the back of the eye, which is a very sensitive area, for weeks, months, or even years. And so we have other molecules that we're evaluating. In particular, your audience may be aware, there is recently the FDA approved a new drug for dry macular degeneration, but it needs to be injected every month or 2. We'd like to see if we could do a little bit better and put a molecule that has the same mechanism of action, but can last 3 months or longer. So we're working on that. We have a partner, Rally Bio, who is providing us with the molecule.
Got it. Appreciate you so much, Jay, for coming on the show. But before I let you go, though, wanted to at least give the floor to you in case there was anything else that we missed out on, any questions I didn't ask you that you wanted to address to our viewers. The floor is yours.
Your questions were excellent. I would just like to say that, I've been at iPoint full-time for a year and a half, part-time before that. We've got a great track record of execution. We dosed our first patient in the phase 1 trial in January of 2021. And we're going to have top-line results from a phase 2 trial in December of 2023. So we are on a roll, and we expect to continue it. And if with good top-line data, we want to start 2 phase 3 pivotal trials in 2024 and get this drug approved as quickly as we can.
Well, hey, I look forward to our conversation here in 6 months or less when you report one of the top-line results in Q4 of this year. That is Jay Duker, who is the president and COO of iPoint Pharmaceuticals. Ticker on NASDAQ is EYPT. Jay, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It was great.
Absolutely. You take care. And I do definitely want to go ahead and see how this company goes ahead and does its terms of top-line results and different things like that. So make sure y'all follow along as well. And as always, do your own due diligence. We like to get these questions answered directly from the executives, but obviously go ahead and do your own research and see if it's worth your hard-earned money and investing in them. But we appreciate you for joining us today for the interview, and we will see you next